Hi, I'm Laura, and welcome back to the Tarot Genie, where you receive intuitive insights from the tarot to your burning questions about business, career, entrepreneurship, spirituality, and more. Are you interested in learning how to release some self-limiting beliefs? Beliefs that have plagued you for many years, probably since childhood, and that you feel constrain yourself and impede yourself from moving forward or moving as rapidly as you'd like in a particular area. Well, that's what we're going to tackle today, and I'm going to also, for this time, present you with a significator card. This card is kind of like the card that overlooks the whole reading. It represents the reading. And today I'm going to share with you the Eight of Swords reversed. The Eight of Swords reversed. And the reason I selected this card, well, when it's upright, we see this young woman, I think it's a young woman wrapped in a red robe, suggesting kind of a passionate, a lot of energy there, but she's surrounded and blindfolded, but she's surrounded by 8 swords. Her feet are almost in the water, and she's all alone, and behind her is a town or a castle. And what this suggests is someone who feels very restricted, very held in, which is what self-limiting beliefs do to us. They impede us in moving forward. And the reason I am presenting the significator card as a reversed 8 of Swords is to suggest that this is our objective. We want to release these limiting beliefs, which the swords represent. Swords relate to beliefs, ideas, etc. So to release them, our objective in consulting the tarot today is to have the 8 of Swords reversed. That is our goal for the reading, to learn how we can release these self-limiting beliefs. As always, a book I recommend related to and with objective to help you release self-limiting beliefs, a mouthful sometimes, is The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. The 4 Agreements, a lot of people have read this book. It's a cute little book, but very filled with very potent, powerful ideas. Just quickly, the 4 key concepts are, as part of this effort to release limiting beliefs, is 1, be impeccable with your word. And when you stand firm on your word, this helps empower you, and you are less susceptible to negativity. 2, don't take anything personally. Just take that mindset. You will not be taking anything personally. If someone snaps at you, is mean to you, says something cutting or whatever, realize that that's not coming from you, it's coming from them, and you don't take it personally. That helps with self-limiting beliefs. Thirdly, don't make assumptions, assume nothing. And this I've learned again and again is a real good principle, a real good tenet of life to follow, because when you make assumptions, typically something negative happens, or something goes amiss. And then finally, always do your best. If you always do your best with just that hardcore or deeply instilled sense that you're doing your best, you're not going to feel limited. Your self-limiting beliefs are not going to have the same power. So check out this book, The 4 Agreements, and I will give you the information about that. And at the end of the reading, I will also suggest a song, music selection. But one other book I'd like to recommend that I think deals really well with self-limiting beliefs, and someone who I believe overcame them. I didn't know her personally, but it's an historical figure, and that was Eleanor Roosevelt. I can't remember the quotation she's so famous for, but it was something about, if you feel demeaned or put down by someone, only you, if someone says something negative to you that's demeaning, critical, etc., it should affect you in no way. It only affects you if you allow it to, if you give it your personal power. And the autobiography of her life, I've forgotten the name, but I will find it and put it in the notes. But an autobiography of Eleanor Roosevelt, I think it covers just a certain segment of her life. But she evolved from being a young girl who was very she had a lot of self-doubts. She felt insecure, etc. But she did a lot of good in her life. She was able to transcend those doubts. So let's jump right in. I'm going to insert this card, the 8 of Swords, back into the deck as I shuffle. And we're going to select 3 cards Now, how do you eliminate self-limiting beliefs that are deeply instilled and that are hampering you? And I will explain the cards as I deal them. Once I've selected, feel that ding of awareness, as taught by one of my great teachers, Dusty White, tarot instructors. What can the tarot advise us in terms of what we need to know to release long-held limiting beliefs? And I believe I've got the ding. Let me move some things. And the first card is going to represent the situation. And if you're suffering from self-limiting beliefs at this point, what insights do you need to have about it? Now, this may be just a reinforcement or just mirroring back what you're already feeling, but it is useful to look at this situation right now and what aspect is hampering, what aspect of your life is hampering you because of self-limiting beliefs. The Judgment card, a major arcana card, very powerful. It's reversed in this case. When upright, the Judgment card, which is the number 20 in the tarot, it's a 20, it's right before the last major arcana card. And what we see here is the very powerful image of Archangel, I think it's either Gabriel, I believe it's Archangel Gabriel, who's tooting his horn. And there's also interesting, like a red cross there, and he's got wide red wings, and he's coming out of a cloud, suggesting that spiritual dimension, that spiritual realm from which he emerges. And you just get the sense that he's blowing his horn very loudly. And then we see these three individuals. Actually, there's two families, three in the front and three in the back, man, woman, and child. And they're raising their hands, and they're all looking like they're emerging from a sort of coffin, suggesting that when the archangel blows his horn, it's rather like a clarion call, calling you to release your limitations, to come out of your boxes, to open your arms. Look how their arms are all widely, their arms are wide open, and they're being receptive to this call. And I believe it's your personal calling, and that's what Archangel Gabriel's doing. However, since I selected this as reversed and we're asking about the situation, what insights do you need to know if you feel like you're suffering from self-limiting beliefs? This image is suggesting that you are hampering yourself. I mean, that's what the whole point of this question is. You are closing yourself off to your true calling because you are entrapped. Just as I showed earlier with the Eight of Swords reversed, you are entrapped. And it's suggesting as well, given that it's reversed, that it's all an inside job. It's just coming from your own personal beliefs. Granted, you may have suffered cruelty or people being mean in the past to you, making some comments or instilling some kind of negative belief, but this can't say it more clearly, that the situation is you are not able to move forward. You're not able to really heed your personal calling when you allow yourself to remain stuck and hampered by self-limiting beliefs. The next card represents the suggested action. What is the tarot advising us to do to transcend and to release these limiting beliefs? One of my favorite cards. Love the Star card. It's number 17 in the Major Arcana card. See how important these are Major Arcana cards suggesting archetypal energy. So it's very important. The questions asked are very important about how do you release limiting beliefs. The Star card often is called the card of hope. We see this woman who she's completely nude, and she's providing sustenance or water to, interestingly enough, a pond, but she's also watering the land. And it's a night because there are all these stars that are illuminating, especially this one major star at the core, at the center of the image. And it's a very hopeful card. Hope, the card of hope. But what it also suggests to me, since we're talking about what action can you take, is that you need to bare your soul open to the world as she's nude. Be yourself, be vulnerable, allow yourself to be vulnerable. And water is often associated with intuition. Tap your intuition, allow it to illuminate you as suggested by all the stars. What I also feel here is that she's giving something. Often to transcend limitations, you need to put yourself out there and give, not just be still or not just be kind of into yourself only and retreating into yourself, but kind of pouring forth. Pour out your energy into the world. And this may be, you may need to think about, perhaps meditating in the night or whatever to get the ideas, these illuminations, the bright ideas, to be able to see what that would mean for you specifically. It's going to mean different things to different people. But find a way that you identify with, that brightens your spirit, that presents a way in which you can pour your energy and your dynamism out into the world. That's what I feel the star card is suggesting here. And finally, assuming that you do that, and assuming that you're aware that you're really crystal clear right now how you've been hampered by your limiting beliefs, oh my goodness, what is the likely outcome? This couldn't be more wonderful. The Sun card. The Sun card is number 19, which actually distills down to a number 10 and then number 1, which is, new beginning. It's also the card of leadership. This is a card, one of the cards from my birth date, because I'm a number 1 numerologically. What this is suggesting right off in no uncertain terms, very clearly, is that you follow this action, you're very clear of where you've been, your limiting beliefs and how they're hampering you. You take the action of pouring forth in some way and illuminating your consciousness, and you will be able to be the bright star that you really are, the bright sun that you really are. You'll unleash that inner child energy, which is always the guiding force in our lives. That's what my spiritual coach, Carol Duray, always teaches. You've got to unleash that inner child, that inner feminine energy to truly achieve what you want to achieve in your life. So in conclusion, we've got all major arcana cards, suggesting this is a very important question. Just know that, whoops, almost throwing the card around. Know that limiting beliefs have been hampering you, and you realize they're blocking you from moving forward and heeding your true calling. The way out of this and the way to move forward is to find a way, a unique way, for you to pour forth of your energy, your illumination, your insights into the world in some way, and to be open and allow yourself to be vulnerable, to no longer hold yourself back. And if you do so, you will blossom. You will bloom like the sun. You will feel that warm, radiant energy. You'll just be wide open, embracing life with everything you've got. I hope this has been helpful for you. The music I will recommend is a song by Celine Dion and Il Divo, the group, the male, what are they called? Not male sopranos, I don't think it is, but it's a male group, Il Divo, and they do a beautiful song called I Believe in You. And just when you listen to the song, think about the words and apply it to believing in me, believing in yourself. But listen, watch the video several times this week, once a day, I recommend, and just instill today's lesson. Until next time, one other thing before I say that. My website is live now, so you can click onto the website, and it's www.thetarotgenie.com, and I offer a free audio download. And you can also email me any questions you like at the information below. So until next time, remember to illumine your mind, inspire your life with the tarot.